Hello guys and welcome to another Ravendawn video. In today's video we're going to be talking about the very anticipated patch of this week, patch 1.0.6.3, and this is a substantial quality of life update. I think this is a great patch overall, and I have a lot of other things to say, but before we do that, let's just get right into the patch notes and talk about them. The very first thing that we find in the patch notes is the Hotkey Manager. This is a massive change, a substantially positive one as well, because finally it seems, for what I'm seeing, is that you're gonna be able to finally change every single hotkey, which is super good. I personally like to use F for certain things that is not interaction, for example for an ability, a stun or something like that. So it's nice that I can finally, use it without having to worry about that key interacting with anything around my environment. So this is definitely a great change from what I understand. I don't know, I need to go into the game once the maintenance is over and see that it is indeed that the system is working in that way, right? So moving on, the next one is the preset builds. Finally we get those builds. It's so annoying having to select each single ability. It takes you 5 minutes to switch builds, so it's very nice that we can finally have those presets saved. And from what I understand, you should be able to also automatically get, as you can see here on the bottom, let's zoom in a little bit here, you can see how it automatically changes the abilities according to the build. So right now you can see how all the abilities that you picked changes on your keyboard. So that's this very on your keybinds, right? So automatically jumps on the position that you placed it or you saved it before. So that's super good, super nice. Definitely a major quality of life update with these changes, with these build presets and so on. Definitely looking forward to play on my account and using my different builds for PvP, for AoE grinding and so on, being able to change them on the fly as well. That's super nice. Another major change into the game is the Rangers Company change. Now you will be able to share Ranger Company tasks with party members, and this is very nice. This could officially be kinda the first opt-in group content in the game, because obviously before you have group content as in the dragons, the bosses and some quests that ask you to be in group, right? But this could actually be the very first like opt-in group content, which is definitely something very nice, because at the moment the game feels like a very solo focus game, which is a little bit not so good. Moving on, they mention about these dead saving optimizations. So this update will introduce a new dead saving protocol developed and tested over the past 2 months. This protocol aims to secure players and account data while enhancing server performance during large-scale, usually PvP-based conflicts. So I'm sure that many of you have been playing around a server and then suddenly the server starts to lag a lot, and that is due to somewhere in the servers there's a massive amount of people, normally around 50 plus 60 people fighting with each other and lagging the server like crazy. So it's very nice to see that they implemented that, and well, I cannot wait to see and well, get myself into a conflict to test how the performance is now. Now, another major change on the game is the Tradepack Changes. So now the Tradepacks require twice the amount of materials to be crafted. This is massive because it will actually increase the value of a lot of the mats that you craft farming, so you can actually make money now with your farms and so on. So I think it will have a positive impact on the economy. The other change is that now the value of the trade packs when sold is increased by 100%, meaning that if before, when you sold it for 20,000 silver, it should be selling for 40,000 silver. So that's very nice. So you should be able to make more money, but pretty much the same amount of money, but now you're spending the more on mats. So this is good. But there were some concerns in the community about people stockpiling their bags, stockpiling their certificates, stockpiling their trade packs and so on, and they actually offered a solution. That solution being Tradepacks crafted before patch 1.0. Well, this patch will still be sold by their old value. So if you had Tradepacks on your warehouses, those Tradepacks will be sold by their old value. And now also, if you stockpile certificates, there will be half the amount of Tradepack certificates that players have inventory and bank. Since now the value of Tradepacks is doubled, they have taken half of your certificates, which is pretty much you have the same amount of value and monetized wise as before. They just literally cut in half your the amount of certificates. So if you had 2, now you have 1, right? But if you sell that 1, it's like if you were selling 2 of the old certificates. So I think that's a smart move. And they also reduced the Tradepack certificates drop rate on supply packs by 50%. So that's very, very interesting. Nevertheless, I think this is a step on the right direction on the Tradepack world. Another major change as well is the effort change. So now they reduce the effort regen multiplier for the medium and large lands by 30%. And also they increase the effort required to craft RE-Celled Tradepacks from 250 to 500 per action, meaning that now when you craft a pack is 500, when you deliver it is another 500. So a full trip of 5 packs is equal to 5,000 what's the name? Yeah, 5,000 effort. So if you have a total of 7,000, you just divide it and you have an idea of how many trips you can make before you have no more effort left, and then you have to go grind again. I think this is again a very good change because it will keep the demand of the Tradepacks in a very healthy percentage, making it profitable for everybody. Moving on to general changes, they added quality to MOA rations. This is nice. Rations will now have different qualities, which is nice. So basically gives different, increases the buffs, the additional speed and strength that it normally gives, because now there's different qualities. So this is a nice little extra thing for all the cooks out there. They also have added a couple of fixes for the Everlasting Freedom so that accidentally left the area to properly progress the quest. Let's see if there's anything else worth mentioning. Tradepacks are now displaying information regarding the location where they were crafted. This is something super important because if you're pirating, sometimes you don't know where the craft that was created and you end up going back to where the trade post which that trade pack was created from, and then you cannot sell it, and it's a little bit annoying. Now they also are displaying finally properly the level requirement for the different things. For example, the large sale, because you unlock the ability to craft it at level 55. But reality is that you can only craft it once you reach level 70, because this level 70 passive is the one that allows you to do it. So it's a little bit frustrating to be able to see that you can craft something, but in reality you can't till you reach a certain level. So it's nice that I finally changed that, so that it does no longer create any more confusion that it already did. They also made wagons more tanky, because apparently before, apparently now they've been very weak. I mean, I know people have been using the Typhoon to destroy the wagons and stuff like that. So it's nice that they're making them now very tanky. I wonder how that's gonna work. Does that mean I'm gonna be able to get a couple of hits and not get dismounted, or am I gonna be immediately dismounted anyway? Not sure, but we'll see. How will that work once we are in the game? Another major adjustment is that they apply adjustment to creature loot drops. Now over 60 additional creatures are dropping crafting materials between tier 4 to 6 for both weapon and armor. Additionally, many other non-crafting related creatures drops have been adjusted to reflect this change. This is nice because at the moment there is a massive drought on tier 4 mats. For some reason, this is one of the only games where a tier 4 mat costs 3 times the value of a tier 6 mat. This is very confusing because tier 6 should be an extremely rare resource and should be very hard to get. Yet it seems that that's not the case. It's quite the opposite. It seems that tier 4 is the one that is super rare and it works like if it was like a tier 6, making their bottleneck in the whole crafting process that is very, very annoying, because at certain points before, I mean, I don't know how it's gonna be after the patch, but before you had to go back to certain mobs that were lower level than you, give you less experience to be able to try to get those mats, and then still not get enough drops because of how little the drop rate of these items is. So the fact that now we're getting 6 additional creatures that will be dropping different mats, it gives me a good idea of that maybe perhaps we're gonna finally get a little bit more supply of these rare mats for crafting. Hopefully that will be the case, and hopefully that will fix the whole tier 4 situation that we are currently at, where every single tier 4 mat is so overly expensive it makes no sense. Also, this would actually bring in benefit to actually go ahead and grind, because at the moment there's no incentive whatsoever on grinding. The only incentive would be just to gain experience, but with the amount of experience you get from farming, might as well just continue farming, right? So these additional creatures dropping crafting materials is very nice, because now you will actually be able to make money when, you know, hunting out there, because before you could barely make anything. Just from the infusions you will make money, but reality is that you can make way more money with Tradepacks. So maybe these changes will push people into grinding a little bit more, killing more mobs, and seeing some value in those activities. Moving on to fixes, there's a major fix right here that I think is worth mentioning. Is the reputation passive. Traders safeguard is now properly given a shield based on the ship's health. Before it was given the player's health, therefore making you pretty much invincible for like 10 seconds. So this is very, very, very nice. Apart from that one, all of them are also important mentioning, and you can, you know, go ahead and pause the video and read all the other fixes. I don't think there's anything else that, for my personal opinion, is worth mentioning. There's a lot of fixes about community land, some dot damage stuff, and so on, a few other things. Nevertheless, feel free to pause right here, read it, and if you find anything in there that you would like to know. But in my opinion, this is a great patch, definitely a very beneficial patch for the game, for the players that are currently playing it, and for the guys who are still like grinding through the levels to try to reach that max level. I really like this patch. I wish it had come sooner. Again, I am not a developer, so I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes, but I'm happy that it finally arrived. With that said, I have reached a point into the game where there is no motivation for me to continue to grind. I am level 73, and I will continue to play the game, get into my farm, and passively reach that level 75. I am eagerly waiting for the great PvP update, where it will finally give me that boost of motivation into trying to get that perfect gear, that perfect stuff that I want to get, to grind for, and to aim for, right? Which at the moment I feel there is none. Nevertheless, I'm very happy to see that there's some work being done and that the developers are actively updating the game for a better future. So I'm definitely looking forward for that big PvP update. With that being said, I don't think there's a lot to say about this patch. Overall, this is a fantastic patch, a fantastic overall patch. These quality of life things are super welcome, and I bet a lot of people out there will be extremely happy about these changes. With that being said, I am Toto Torres. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and if you are into Albion Online or something like that, just know that I will be exploring that game for a little bit, and you're more than welcome to join me. I will leave my link on the description below on my Twitch channel, and I'll see you later. Take care.